Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order, July 2nd, 2024, Charlestown Redevelopment Commission. President Derek Holmes will not be in attendance to this meeting. At this time, I'd like everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, now to return the quorum for a roll call. Derek Holmes. Benita Bate.
Present.
John Spencer.
Here.
Jeff Deaton.
Here.
Bobby Brooks is here. The meeting minutes for both the executive session and regular session meetings of June 4th were included in your meeting packet. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I make a motion we approve those minutes.
I'll make a second.
John makes a motion. Makes a second. If there is no further discussion, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Moving on to presentations, Donna Enos is here to give us an update on the Shadow Lake Development Project.
Good evening. How are you all tonight?
Good.
I just want you all to take notice of the address at the bottom of the form. We're there. We're officially in. It's awesome. We love being in Charlestown. So Dean Christiani, all the companies, the Dean Christiani companies have moved into Charlestown, and we are so happy to be here. And it's been so fun so far. So just to give you a little update on Shadow Lake, I'm not going to read all of these bullet points, but you're welcome to just ask questions about everything. We did get our monument. You can see in the picture there where it's Shadow Lake. It's in the center of the roundabout, and so that is in place. There will be some like Coronado stone decorative rock that'll go around the base, so that's just, it's not finished obviously, but, and then landscaping and whatnot. Work is currently in progress on installing a walking trail down Shadow Lake Drive. As far as site utilities, the booster station is now operational. They have a jockey pump in place because we've been waiting on the high service pump, which is more for fire flows, to come in, and then once it gets in, it'll be installed. But then right before I came here, they were like, it's in, so we just need to do the installation of that. They've done some landscaping around that building just to help with the aesthetics. Trees have been planted around the lift station just to kind of buffer that fencing around the lift station there, just to enhance the aesthetic and privacy of that area for the neighbors, you know. So, our EMC has completed the electrical installation on the industrial building sites, and we are still waiting, which I was hoping Derek would be here tonight, but we are waiting on a layout. We met with them, we walked the property and the streets just to kind of determine where the street lighting is going to go. They were supposed to get back with us and give us the layout, so we're just waiting on that with a price on what that's going to take. Good news is we received the CSX's approval, and we have signed the agreement. The final step is going to go in front of the Board of Public Works tomorrow. So for the city's approval, and once everything is fully executed on that, NDOT will let the commencement of doing the traffic light at that intersection to go ahead and get that installed. So that will be exciting. And US Capital is on track to close within 30 days of the fully executed CSX agreement. And I have included the invitation on the back here for you all for our ribbon cutting. So it's going to be on July 31st at 10 a.m. at our headquarters. So we would love for you all to attend our ribbon cutting. We'll have some food and whatnot. So please feel free to join us. Do you guys have any questions, comments?
That's a great update. Thank you for providing that for us.
You're welcome.
How is the new office?
It's awesome. It's beautiful. We have the best lunch spot in Charlestown, I think. just, we have a nice patio, and actually, that picture was taken from the upstairs, outside the, like I took the window, so you can see like how pretty it is, us sitting around at the tables, it's so nice.
Do you allow first dogs to visit your
We love
workstation?
First Dogs, and you know what, I'm excited to have First Dog in the office tomorrow
All right,
to bring me the CSX agreement.
there you go.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Donna. Moving on to claims. Claims packet and fund report will include in the meeting packet. Does anyone have any questions or comments about the claims?
Make a motion to approve those claims.
I'll second.
John, this motion. There's no further discussion on the motion for motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone signed up for public comment?
I don't believe so.
No.
Moving on to consultant reports. This time, Jill, would you like to give us an update?
Thank you. We continue to field calls about commercial and residential development and improvements, so that's great. Hopefully some of that will come to fruition. The Depot Street, as Donna was gracious enough to come and give us an update on Shadow Lake, the projects that are ongoing that you're participating in to give us quarterly updates. And so Denton Floyd has provided one that I included in your packet. It gives you a lot of information, some of the photos. Obviously, if you drive down the road a little bit, you can see a lot of that coming up out of the ground. So anyway, if you have any questions about that, please let me know. But they have started on, it actually started on the masonry on one of the outside buildings, one of the walk-up buildings. I noticed that this evening. They started putting brick on the outside of that. And then they are working on the clubhouse and elevator shaft. So if you have any questions, just let me know. We've talked with them about a number of things. One of the things was Madison Street, and I think we've come to an agreement on that, how we can incorporate reconstruction of Madison Street into their project. I think we've come to an agreement. So, and when the timing's right on that, because that is, we don't want to reconstruct Madison Street while they're still bringing trucks in and out. So our engineer that we're using on that project is working with them as far as the appropriate timing. Then the last one that I'll highlight from the report is the Charlestown Landing DNR State Park entrance. So I think reported last month that we were providing an application through the Lilly Endowment to the RSON RDA. We submitted that application at that time in the beginning of June. The RDA had a meeting, it might have been later that week or the next week. Those projects that were submitted for redevelopment, blight elimination projects, and then there were arts and culture projects, and so this was submitted under blight elimination. It was one of the top 8 projects that was scored by the RDA and the IEDC, and so it's my understanding they were submitting the top 8 to the IEDC for further investigation. The RDA does not make the decisions on the Lilly Endowment money, the IEDC does. And so if we are moving forward with that, or if IEDC chooses that project to move forward, they'll reach out directly to the city and ask for additional information if needed. On a parallel track, there's the READY funds. So the Lilly Endowment is $250 million. The READY funds, I think, are $500 million. And the RDA received $45 million, which is the largest any of the regions received. Several received $45 million. They have about 42 and a half or so to give out after they take the admin fees off of that. And we are submitting the project for READY funds as well. IEC and the RDA can mix and match Lilly and READY funds. So just to cover all of our bases, we're gonna submit for ready and then give them the opportunity to say how they would like to fund it if they wish to do so. Does anyone have any questions about anything that I've talked about or anything else that's in the report? Oh, I should have mentioned this too. We're still in the process of getting the purchase agreement signed. We adopted the resolution at the last meeting for the property here on the square at Short Street. I think I don't have any reason to believe that that's not going to be signed, you know, in the next week or so. So I'm working through a little bit of some of the details that the seller wanted to include, which were nothing egregious for us. And we also received, if you notice in the fund report, your first TIF installment that came before July 1st. So when we're ready to move forward, then we can do that. And I have some other things lined up as part of the due diligence that you approved at the last meeting. As soon as the purchase agreement is signed, then we can get the title work done, the phase 1, and also get some survey work done on that property. All of those things will be, obviously, the title work's needed for you to take title of the property, but the other things will be needed as well for the RFP. So it's best, I think, if we get that out of the way now before you take title in case there's anything strange that comes up. So we are moving forward with that.
Thank you, Jill, for that update. Moving on to old business, if Zach Klein is present to give us an update on the Greenway Park Bank Stabilization Project.
Yeah, good evening. I have a few copies of the drawings if you care to take a look if you haven't already.
And I did include these in your packet, but you might like to see them larger. You guys have enough over there?
Okay.
So this is a project in the park right on the other side of the street there behind that gazebo, where if you've ever been close to it, that stream is just eroding away and about to damage the integrity of that gazebo. So this project has been circling around for a while. We want to just see it through. The permitting had been approved, so all we really needed to do is just get it pushed on. We actually had a pre-bid meeting this morning with contractors. We had a really good turnout. There were 4 contractors there on in the meeting, and then we went on site and had some good conversations out there. There are some, like always when you do bidding, there's some clarifications to provide, some questions that I need to resolve. But it's kind of a very basic natural stone wall, dry stack stones in that ditch. That was kind of a DNR requirement. We call it a vegetated rock wall because it's going to have some live shafts, cuttings that we'll put in the face of the rock wall, and then some natural seeds and shrubbery that we'll put on above it to just give it that natural local look. So the goal is to get this in before October, so that's why we've already got it started. We had a special meeting in 2 weeks to do the bid opening, and hopefully if we get the review and everything goes right, we can hopefully do a notice of award by the next meeting, what is that, August 6th? I think that would be a goal, because so we can turn that around, because we have a 45-day substantial completion and a 60-day final completion. That seems very achievable. Nobody had any issues with that, so we feel like that's something that we can do as long as we can, if everything goes well and we can proceed with the plan as is. So I don't know if there are any questions at this point. We have a base bid and an alternative. It's basically the same thing, but the alternative is a slightly shorter wall. Just because the surface area of that wall, that's going to be the most of your cost, is how many rocks you stack. So if we can shorten it somewhat and then just kind of pitch that ground to it slightly, you will save money. But the other side of that is you now have a slope into, at the highest point, about a 6-foot, 5-foot drop. It could potentially be a hazard. You know, kids play around there. We do include a fencing off of the gazebo on either side, because that is the highest point right at the gazebo. And then we'll put shrubbery, probably kind of crowding that highest point to try to deter people from going. But we are also gonna, as we build it, we may need to find some intermediate solution as we go in there. But we just want to make sure that we're taking the considerations of safety and security of the site and the public into consideration here.
That's great. Thinking about that. Appreciate that.
Any other questions or comments?
Great.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Moving on to new business. Mayor, you have anything you want to discuss? Any members have any new items?
I have one thing, if we can discuss, it's really regarding the next meeting, as Zach said, that special meeting on the 17th. We have at 5 o'clock, just to open the bids, it shouldn't last very long. If we could potentially schedule an executive session, kind of sandwich that somewhere in with that, so we can discuss some of the property purchases that we've been discussing, then that would be great, but I'm not sure what your schedules are like and if that would work. I think we'll need maybe 15 minutes for the bid opening.
Shouldn't take long.
I prefer after, if that's okay with you guys, instead of before.
Yeah, we could maybe call executive session for 5:15 or whenever that initial meeting is over.
That's fine with
If
me.
that works for you guys?
Yeah,
On the same day?
Yeah,
just
the
right
same
after?
day, just right after.
yeah, just back to back would be fine with me.
And that shouldn't last very long either, you know, depending on how much we want to discuss. I think about 15 minutes to 20 minutes, try to have you out of here by 5:30.
Do that.
Okay, and I'll make sure that those get posted.
So executive session, July 17th,
Yes, tentatively at 5:15, something like that. Maybe we say
or just
5:20.
immediately following special meeting?
Yes,
Okay. So our next meeting's coming up, July 17th at 5 p.m. Special meeting immediately following that tentatively, and have an executive session at 5:15. Following that, August 6th, our normally scheduled redevelopment commission meeting.
and I left off the script about the adjournment, so sorry. I realized that just now.
For adjournment, I'd like to make a motion.
It's not on the agenda. I'm sorry, I don't think we can do that.
Well, it is
I'll
on the
make a
agenda.
motion to adjourn.
Stay here.
Second.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Will you all please sign the claims docket before you leave?